gosh, we are having a celebration nice and early. We are joined by the one and only Reverend Sophie. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. I feel like it's been an absolute eternity since I was last on Grati-Tuesday. This is fabulous. I love it.
It has been a long, long time, and it's wonderful. And we are very grateful to have you back this morning.
Oh, it's just so lovely. And there are so many things that have happened since the last time I was on Grati-Tuesday. We've had Christmas to start with.
That's a pretty big deal in your calendar.
Which is a slight, in the calendar. And yeah, I've got a new church, so I'm looking after Spittal Church now as well. And Tom, you've had an addition to the family.
There has been
which is just awesome.
Has that all happened since your last time on Grati-Tuesday?
All happened since I was last on Grati-Tuesday. So much stuff has happened.
Well, that is definitely then at least 2 months that since you were last here on Grati-Tuesday. You need to meet the little human as well. Well, I can't. Yeah, that's been a long time. We've had a few Grati-Tuesdays in already, actually. Kilbert likes their cats, grateful for their cats this morning. And Gina, one for you. Kat Russell and Hannah have been in touch, grateful for coffee.
Oh, yes, I'm very grateful for coffee every morning. And are you, Reverend Sophie? Do you have your coffee in the morning?
Oh, I do. I tell you what I do. I get up in the morning when it's really quiet in the house. I'm going to be talking about this in a moment, actually. And have a cup of tea. And then I'll have a cup of coffee sort of a couple of hours, maybe an hour or so after I've had my first cup of tea. And that keeps me going for the day then. It has to be good coffee, though.
It's got to be the good stuff. I've been in Panto since you were last here, and the Mayweed who played Jasmine, she was a self-confessed coffee snob.
Oh. I'm not sure as I go so far as to say I'm a coffee snob, but there are some places that I would definitely avoid for coffee.
Oh,
I probably can't say it live on air, so that's
no, we're
not going to do that. But places that do other things that don't rely on their coffee income, their coffee's naff usually.
There you go.
Not
good
all
to
of
know.
the time. Not all the time.
We'll let you decipher and decide where has the good and bad coffee. You can let us know on a postcard. So then, Reverend Sophie, it's the beginning of 2026 for our Grati-Tuesday.
Yes.
You were mentioning about being quiet around the house. I'm intrigued now as to what your first message here on the Breakfast Show with Polly Farm is going to be this year.
Well, do you know, I am just incredibly grateful for the gift of those small sustaining moments, and particularly the ones like having that first sip of tea in the morning when the house is still a bit quiet and still waking up. You'll notice that I'm in my house at the moment and nobody else is awake, so they're all still snoozing, or if they are, they've been told on pain of death not to come into the living room because I'm doing recording. And then the kindness of someone holding a door, the unexpected message from a friend when you need it, or just that little tiny bit of sunshine that we see occasionally breaking through in the clouds at the moment. Those are the moments that just kind of, they don't shout at us, they don't kind of arrive with a fanfare. It's not like having a baby, is it, Tom?
No.
But they have a way of grounding us and reminding us that even when life feels a little bit frantic, there's goodness woven into the day, which I think is a really important thing. And I was reminded of Psalm 118, verse 24, which says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And I love that it's in this day, not the ideal one we imagine, not the perfectly planned one we're hoping for, but the real one God has placed into our hands this morning. The day with its to-do lists, its tiredness, its surprises, and its small blessings. And Jesus, of course, himself found himself doing the simple things. He pointed to birds and flowers to remind us, and to remind us not to worry. He sat at tables with ordinary folk and turned meals into moments of grace. And he walked dusty roads and turned everyday encounters into life-changing conversations. And that's something beautiful about the way that God chooses the ordinary to show extraordinary love. So today, on this Grati-Tuesday, I'm giving thanks for the small moments, the ones that steady us soften us and remind us that we're not walking alone. And I think they feel like little God nudges throughout the day. His way of saying, I'm here, keep going, you're held. And maybe that's just our invitation for today, to just slow down and just give thanks for the little wonderful things that are shifting our perspective, even perhaps when we don't know it.
I love that. Today is this day, and we get to do that every single day and find those moments, even in those loud crying moments, and you hold maybe a 2-month-old close to you. They quiet down for long enough that you can just get to look at their tiny little arms and think, oh gosh, you're so cute. And it's about finding those little moments, isn't it, in every single day. Gina?
Yeah.
It's those little moments, but they are so big. You just mentioned about looking at the birds and the joy that brings, like little robins out there, and just that it's just gorgeous, and that glimpse of the sunshine, and especially we need that at the moment, and a little something can mean a lot.
Do you know, I love the church. Obviously, I love the church because I'm a vicar in the church. But Jesus himself was not about pomp and circumstance. He wasn't about all of some of the big celebrations that we have. And we do those things for very specific reasons, and they're very important things. But Jesus himself was just this down-to-earth guy who happened to be the Son of God, who just did he noticed those little things in life. And I think sometimes we get a little bit overwhelmed by some of the bigger questions in life, and actually just those small things are the things that we need to be focusing on. So I think it's really important, those small things on a Tuesday morning when the sky is looking a little grey this morning.
A little bit wet and wild out there at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, just a little.
How is the rest of your day looking, Reverend Sophie? Give us a snapshot.
Oh, now you're asking. Right. So at lunchtime today, I have an assembly at St Aidan's School in Wiston, and then I've got some pastoral visiting to do. So we unfortunately had quite a few funerals over the last few months as well, since I last saw you, which is probably one of the reasons why I haven't seen much of you. There's been quite a lot of that, so I'm doing some pastoral visiting today, going to check in on some people, making sure that they're okay. I'm also I've got quite a few projects going on at the moment as well, so there's quite a lot of writing for funding bids and this sort of thing. So there's quite a lot of different things going on today, but I mean that's the day in the life of a vicar, really, is you're never quite sure what's going to happen. So
well, we look forward to hearing about some of that next Tuesday for Grati-Tuesday. Reverend Sophie, it's so lovely to have you back here on the breakfast show with Folly Farm. It feels like you've never been away.
Well, I certainly have missed you guys, but it does feel like I've come home, so that's good. And of course, you can hear me on a Sunday morning and Alive and Kicking as well. So, and Alive and Kicking is live. I'm doing it live. So if you want to call me or send me messages on a Sunday morning, then you can, and I'll be there in the studio.
And remind us of what time?
Good question. 8 o'clock. Very good question. 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9 on a Sunday morning, I am live. And then I hot foot it when I finish at 9 o'clock. I hot foot it either to Spittal or to Walton East for their service, depending on the Sunday. So it's a busy morning, Sunday mornings, but it's good fun. I love doing it. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. Have a great day, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
8:15 here this morning. We've got some what's-ons and some traffic to let you know about. Gina, it's a bit wet outside.
It is wet outside. It's a bit sort of dull as well, but stay tuned here to Pure West Radio because we will brighten your day.
55 acres of breathtaking scenery and the beauty